Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to start the series for the SQL interview questions, and this is the first video of this series. So let's get started. I will keep each video short and separate for each concept. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about the constraint in the SQL interview questions. Okay, so this is commonly asked question, like what are the different types of constraints under the SQL and explain each in brief. So basically there are around 6 main constraints, and the list is the not null, unique, primary key, foreign key, check, and default. So let's see each one by one. The first one is the not null. The not null constraint tells that we cannot store a null value in a column. That is, if column is specified as not null, then we will not be able to store null in this particular column anymore. Okay. For example, we have a column in the table and we don't want to allow any null to be present in that column. Then we can define the not null when we create the table and attributes. And here is the syntax for this. When create table student, so if you see, the first column is defined id, which is the data type having the integer 6, which is the bytes, and it is defined as a not null. Second one is name, which is defined as a character, and the constraint is not null. That means for these two columns there will not be any null value allowed to be present in the data set. Okay, hope you got. Second one is a unique. Now unique constraint is nothing but this tells all the value in the column must be unique, and that is the one value in any row of the column. It must not be repeated. In another word, we need to define a unique whenever we want a unique value to be present in any column. That value should not be duplicate in same column, or that value should not be repeated again in the same column. In that case, we use the unique constraints so that it will only allow unique records. The syntax for this is create table student int, like he said, id int is the data type, and not null unique. So after not null they have added the unique. So that means id will be the unique for each student. It will not be a duplicated one. Hope you got this point. The next point is primary key. The primary key is a field which can uniquely identify each row into the table, and this constraint used to specify field in the table as a primary key. So primary key is something like that whenever we need to join multiple table, or whenever we need to perform multiple joins, then this is a very important parameter. Primary key is supposed to be one in each table, like one in the sense only one column we can define as a primary key in each table, and that will be the reference one as a foreign key into the another table. And the records belong to primary key supposed to be unique. So there is a kind of similarity between a unique and the primary key, but we can define the multiple columns as a unique, but we cannot define multiple column as a primary key. We can only define a single column or only one column as a primary key. And here is the syntax for the same. You can see create table student id integer not null unique, name varchar, address varchar, and the primary key. So primary key is nothing but id. Okay, so this is how the primary key defines. Here they had defined the id as a primary key into the bracket. Now the next one is the foreign key. The foreign key is the field which can be uniquely identify each row in the another table, and this constraint is used as to be specify the field as a foreign key. So foreign key is same as the primary key, but this is the reference column from the another table. Okay. And the syntax for the foreign key is pretty same. You can define foreign key in bracket id c underscore id and the primary key o underscore id. So you can see here the o underscore id and the c underscore id are the reference for the customer id, and you can define as per your table structure. You can modify the script. The next one is the check constraint helps to validate the values into the column. This meets a particular condition. If the condition is satisfying, then only that value is allowed to be entered into the particular column. And also this helps to ensure that value stored in the column meets specific condition that I said already. So syntax is like this: create table student id int not null, name varchar not null, age int not null. So for the age, they are putting out the condition like age supposed to be greater than equal to 18. So if the age is greater than 18, then only it will be allowed to enter into the particular column called age into the data set. So this is how the check condition works. The next condition is the default condition, and this constraint specifies the default value for the column when no value is specified by the user. So this happens when we are creating table and we are inserting the multiple values, but for specific column or field there is no such data available to be entered. Then default works on that scenarios. When default there is no value present, then by default it load reference value that we define at the time of creating the table. And the syntax is the create table student id int 6 not null, name varchar not null, age int default 18. So if the age is not been entered or not present, then by default this table will take it as 18 and it will show the age 18 in the entire dataset whenever we don't define that particular value while inserting the values into the table. So this is all about the day. These are the constraints. I hope you got some sort of understanding of constraint, how it look like, how it works. So I will recommend you to do a practice with a dummy table. Try to play around with the constraints so that you will get a thorough understanding of constraints, how this works. And if you want more videos like this, you can consider subscribing this channel, and in the next video I will come up with another concept in the sequel. So stay tuned. Till then, take care. Bye bye.